Barbarian Lunatic Productions. Awesome. Escape the 8.
It's off limits, all right? I mean, I have to be open about these things. But how can something be off limits if I record myself with a camera in my room? I mean, what's really off limits? Okay, I just want to say, strange night. I worked until 4 o'clock or something. Then I ate cornflakes, these nugget bits. Sugar and tooth decay are certainly related. Well, at the same time, without sugar, I couldn't do any of this, or so I believe. I sometimes feel like there are things that have literally become a part of me that I can no longer just put away. And I find this sometimes sad. I'm trying to live in a state of acceptance. That if I fast, I will lose things. Sometimes I even feel like I will lose the connection to my family if I stop eating their food. And there may be truth to it, because I think if you stop eating, you will begin to fade away faster and faster. And there's so much to do. But can I maintain this kind of lifestyle where I replace other people with food? I think the only thing I can say to that is, let's just listen to what White has to say about black in Tekonking Creed. Right, it's about... By the way, if anybody wants to check out animes I have watched, my anime list, capital O_LAF. That's my anime list. I'm not sure if my website still exists. I thought it should. But at this stage I cannot say. So I just woke up. I felt like I have to continue. I have to do something. I feel like things are running underwater. I just had a dream, a very intense dream. And it was about this woman that nobody knows about but me. I mean, in terms of how I feel about her, nobody really knows. Although I've been saying it, this is the only reason I create all of this content. Because I'm in love with her. And I accepted that if she would never want to speak with me again or do anything with me again, then I just have to accept it. And that's what I decided, because you see, this is just my way of dealing with this situation. I'm just not like your random supermarket worker. Because if I work in the supermarket, I don't just sit there and I scan things. I'm the guy, if you're unfriendly to me, I'm just gonna say it to you. It's hard to be unfriendly to me. Because, honesty wins every time. Which is why I like to get back to these quotes that I have in my mind. Which is Bird Person from Rick and Morty. Where Morty is just eating this bowl of food. And then he says, "What is this? Is it seeds or something?" And then Bird Person says, "Oh, it is random debris I found in the carpet." Yeah, this may get boring if you've listened to this already. I haven't said it that often. It appears in my art, certainly. I have no idea what humans eat, right? So sometimes I sit here and I record myself, and then I hear like a loud noise outside, like a honking. Yesterday I was laying in bed and I was having a thought, and it was like, bloop. I know there was some kind of weird sound that is literally inexplainable from the position it was coming from, which to me seems like, what's really going on? Why am I hearing these things? And are other people hearing these things? Now, in my dream, I was just talking to someone and I was trying to explain that I hear voices. Plus, I showed him a place in myself. And now the question is, who did I show it to? Was it another version of myself? Was it a stranger? I think it was a warning. If you have someone that you love a lot, and let's say you're in a position like me and they're somewhere else. I once met someone during my studies in Africa. We were living in this camp together, and we were actually friends. Sex is always an option, don't get me wrong. But it's not always the right thing to do. So she was cool, and everybody would have loved to have sex with her. But she was just really set back. She had this one man that she liked. She wanted him to be it for the rest of her life. And I never pushed it. Well, maybe, okay, she did push my buttons a little. But I just had the feeling it's impossible because she was putting too much. First of all, she loved dogs, which is not a bad thing. I like dogs. I'm just not sure I have time for dogs, because if I'm to have a dog, okay, in this apartment, what's my mission? What's my job? What's my goal? What's my perspective? I like dogs when they're there. I even like walking with dogs. But to me, it's more like children, right? I can see a dog as a child, but it's more like a man-made child. You take something that was perfect the way it was, and then you breed it into something that can no longer even be related without going insane to the thing that you created. And that's probably, this and Primal Needs is probably what inspired the book Canine Realities, which was a short, I don't know, it just started and then it stopped. Somebody actually bought it and read it. I have no idea who that was. and whether or not they got the message. Because it certainly relates the canine reality to the human, which is incredible that I still know that. I haven't read it in a while. So, right, between making coffee, making more of my art, doing more of these things, I'm still wondering if I'm on the right path. Because who I think I ought to love or be with, is just not there. And sometimes I'm not sure if it's my sadness, her sadness, or if I'm just making it all up. Now, possibly by the time I'm recording it, something else has revealed itself. I'm not sure what the dream I was having was supposed to tell me. Be careful who you talk with. Because if I go now and talk to someone else, I can mention that there's someone that I feel is guiding me towards her. Or am I guiding her towards me? At one point I just said, I think it's better to let the woman take over the relationship. Because all I can do is just scream because, I'm so in love. So I think we always have to ask ourselves, who's going to determine the direction? Because, I'm okay in here, but if I go out there, I have no idea who to trust, who to look at, who to speak with, who to turn my back to. That's the real question I'm trying to deal with. And I'm still trying to figure out how I'm supposed to. I want to be in Amsterdam. This is a weird kind of a dream for me. Because I feel like I should have wanted to be somewhere else. And now this is turning into the place that I should want to be in. And I think that's the most disturbing of all thoughts. Because I never wanted to stay here. I can love any place. I no longer need to cycle. Okay, I freed myself of this. Because when I was in Africa, I felt like I miss this place. Okay, I miss this place. What does that mean? There are certain things that I was missing, like I haven't had enough of them. Now I have enough of them and I'm still here. I have dropped cycling, at least for a while, maybe forever. Because I feel like it does make you impotent. Because you're sitting all the time. At the same time, I like cycling. But why not just take the tram and walk or hike? And at one stage, I just couldn't take myself serious on a bike anymore. It's just the image that I had was just kind of weird. But at the same time, I like it. So maybe this area is much better for hiking. But at the same time, I'm not so sure that this is really where I want to be, where I am supposed to be, where I should be. And that's what sometimes the voice said, just look at. Just look out of the window. And then where would I look? Far away into the distance. I could just stand here and look for hours. If I only wasn't so irresistibly impatient. And I know it's really, this idea of having this woman and just loving her so much and loving every inch of her. Like having found nothing that you dislike, that's disarming. Because usually with every woman I had something that I did not like. And best case scenario, she feels the same. Best case scenario, she feels the same. She never wants to let go. She only likes me. She would never be naked with another man. Or kiss another man or do anything. And I'm just not sure how much I'm making this all up in my mind. Like literally not sure how much of this I'm just making up in my mind. Really not sure how much of this I'm just making up in my mind. Because if I look at the reality that I find myself in, and then I compare it with all the visions that I think I've had, then what is this going to tell me? That either I'm very deluded, but this kind of delusion still created a lot of content that is unique and inspiring and motivational, and at least says, you know, well, if you can't manage to be in love together, just try to be in love on your own. And that sounds really hard and tough and, you know, whatever. But I think it's just the truth. The truth. You just try to do it by yourself. You know. Because what's the point of okay, there are several options, but only one feels like the perfect match. You know what I mean? But to who? To the one that I would like to be. And the life that I know I could have if I could just stop jumping from pair of breasts to pair of breasts. You see, so spiritual advice from a Barbarian Lunatic certainly talks about the challenges of life. What it also talks about is the conundrum between what you have been shown as... There's a sneeze stuck somewhere. There it comes out as a yawn. What you have been shown as this is your life in psychedelic visions, you know, not a single one of my predictions that I had in psychedelic experiences has come true. You know, at least not yet. Neither have I been discovered. Right? Neither have I been discovered and, you know, shown to the public as the next great Da Vinci. Nor have I been taken into the arms of this beautiful woman that I think exists and is just sitting around longing for my return or hoping to meet me somewhere on the streets, right? Nothing of this has ever come into existence. It's unreal. It's a dream. So what am I living here for? You know, that's what I'm trying to figure out. What am I living here for? What am I doing here right now? What am I supposed to do? When is it going to stop? And what am I going to do once something else comes? Because I literally cannot think anymore of what I should be doing. Just nothing's happening. All I know is I'm in here alone. You know, I work, I wake up, I sleep, I eat, I shit. I know when I run out of food, I'm getting anxious. And I just eat large amounts of food. I just don't know how my stomach can still take it. And in terms of creating content, the only thing I can do at the moment seems to be this. Just take a camera, hold it in my face, and just start speaking. Because that's the only thing that keeps me busy, that's where my energy goes. Where's it gonna go later? Right, where's it gonna go later? Is this really what I'm saying it is? You see what I mean? It's like I'm recording the stages towards the completion of my task. Now, the completion of my task is being a father. And then comes the next set of experiences, which is, you know, being a father and a husband. Right now, I'm kind of a bachelor. And instead of running around and just like, you know, having random sex with random people or playing card games with others, you know, I wait and I sacrifice all of this because I say I only want to do it with one woman. And nobody else can even get close to her, which is why there's no real challenger for the woman I have seen. And if she does not exist because I made her up in my mind, then at least I have a nice image for the rest of my life. You know, just seeing her in her birthday suit once is enough. And that's so strange. Does she feel like this about me? Or does she think, boy, am I glad to be rid of that asshole? I mean, he completely lost it. You know, or did she look at me and think, oh, what a beautiful being. I love you so much. I want to be with you all the time. You know, did she say this? Or did she say, bleh. Why do I have to stick it out with you now? Because what I thought was, you exist like this? This kind of a woman exists? Right, so, you know, that's what I was looking for, and when I found it, I realized either I was inadequate, she was inadequate, we both were and possibly are inadequate. And if we never sort out our own differences, inner differences, our biases, our, you know, I'm the victim, I'm the, you see, I never know, theta, it's like the doer, right? It's like the attacker, and the victim, I'm the attacker. You know, who's the rapist and who's the raped? And don't we both do this? Because if I get you to rape me, because I'm unaware, you know, if I go to a rapist for help, you know, if I didn't know he was a rapist, then I was completely ignorant of myself. Because if I think I'm super strong and great, then I just walk around at night, okay, somebody's gonna show you possibly at some point that you are not as strong as you think you are. Because if you were, you probably, you know, what are you doing here? You know, this is the place of lost souls. Which is why I think, why am I here? Am I a lost soul? Is this supposed to be, you know, the place I was born and now I'm supposed to live here? You know, I'm trying to take it lightly, but in truth, I still feel like I want to go somewhere else. As much as I like it here, and I appreciate, oh wow, I have this apartment, I can look outside and there's like leaves and they're yellow and it's autumn, and autumn is supposed to be nice and awesome. And yet I just stay at home all the time. I don't go for nice autumn hikes. You know, I put it all away because, you know, I'm looking for a different life. And it's even strange because what did I really like about Amsterdam? I just liked the atmosphere. I liked it that I could just go to the shop and buy, from my perspective, good quality weed. I like the strolling around the city, but would I feel safe there today? Well, something has been keeping me off the streets. Fear. Well, last time I told a woman I would do this. I don't know, I'm still here and I haven't left yet. How much older am I supposed to get? I feel like I'm ready already. I feel like I'm ready already. And people say, yeah, maybe you should stop going back to bed. What? Do I have to be awake all the time now? Do I have to be awake all the time now? Because I feel like I still need sleep. Because I just can't deal with all the things. Which is why sometimes I just want to sleep. And I know how to time it. Which is, I know when to eat to feel heavy enough to sleep. Which is how it should be done. I think I could, of course, go for a stroll at night. But then I couldn't spend time with my wife. You see, I'm already trying to be like the man that could be with this woman. Although I have trouble believing or accepting that she exists. And she may in fact not exist anymore. Be careful what you blah. I've said so many things. And none of them came true. So the only thing you can do is, maybe this Christopher, this barbarian lunatic, he's just, how do you call it? A scapegoat? Something to be sacrificed? Let's slaughter him? I think he's too important for that. Which is why I forced him to be at home. On the inside. Because somehow the outside world is too much for him. Just don't get it. I literally, honestly, I don't get it. So am I to go to a graveyard and light a candle for a deceased grandma? Or why can't I do it at home? That's the idea of having a shrine. To do it from your home. I feel no need to leave the house. And that's true. Well, I certainly would like to leave the house. On another occasion such as, let's go for a holiday. I don't know, right? It's just all so strange, and that's all I can say. I have no idea what's going on. Things are certainly happening. And they seem to be happening. But still, I just feel rejection. I feel rejection. I feel rejected. I feel like whatever this woman is supposed to be, I feel like I even reject her. You see how strange it is? In one moment I talk about her and it's like, oh. And when I get back to myself, I think, what has she ever done? Except for standing there naked, and I thought, oh, what a nice shape her body has. If that's all it is, the rest was just bullshit. And that's always how I kind of catch myself again. Where I say, I thinks, me thinks, I just have to reject you. Because I cannot imagine it anymore. She would never live here, or so I think. But thoughts can never tell you the whole story. But it's clear to me that there are things that ought to change. Seclusion, isolation, I'm getting better at it. I got up at 11. Had this dream. There was a friend in this dream. He's not really a friend, he's just someone I remember. And what the dream said is, never share sensitive content with others. So never take a picture of your wife where she looks like super attractive and then show it around to your friends. never basically take any kind of erotic pictures of anyone. I mean, if you do it with yourself and you just portray yourself as some kind of artwork, but because women channel their energy into their child directly, in a way, there's like a deeper connection, it's better to keep women away from such public displays like the one I'm being subjected to, as a way to show what it takes to liberate someone from fear and all of this. It's like working together, and what's the benefit of freeing one person? Well, the whole society can benefit from one man that's been freed. And then maybe this should become like a refuge for people, so that if I have friends, even if they were female, they could come here and spend time. Is that a good mentality for a family? I'm not sure anymore what I'm supposed to know or believe. I just think that the best way of dealing with this is by simply staying open for, anyone who could contact you at any point in time. You see what I mean? What's the value of secluding yourself all the time and then making random content? Well, it's just, speaking about things, giving you the opportunity to feel better about yourself, because, hey, I'm also struggling, okay? If you think this is, oh wow, if I could just have that. But the thing is, exactly the thing that I learned while I was abroad in Africa, which was, I was there and I was missing someplace else. And what I said is that the next time I'm going to Amsterdam, I have to go there on my own energy, and I also have to be able to return. I have to be able to afford housing or an apartment, whether that should be Airbnb, whether that should be, something I can rent for longer times or maybe even buy, How am I supposed to know these things? You see, I'm just trying to plan ahead, to think, keep a level head, and then just make choices. And the weird thing is, sometimes I have a feeling whether I smoke or not, it's not so much the problem, it's the place I'm left in when I smoked. Now, there were times where I felt like I was in love with a woman and we were going to be wife and husband, and then we took psychedelics together, and suddenly I felt like I was in a whole nother dimension. And and that's what I have read also about other people, but I think it's just, boundaries were being set, and then you cannot go back to the way it used to be. Okay, but what's the way it used to be with someone else? I mean, to me, if I can cook for hours with a woman, is that like, okay, she's good wife material? How often do you have these kind of experiences? I had them once. 3 weeks cooking with this woman. I don't know. You can say, hey, maybe she wasn't ready. How am I supposed to know what I need? I don't know what I need. I'm just someone throwing a tantrum. I want to play with this one, But like an adult, like really play with her. And then other women come that I used to like in the past, and I'm like, who are you compared to this one? She really inspired me to be a little child, but then at the same time, of course, I just completely have no idea. I just like women. But I feel like there's one woman I like most. How am I supposed to know what it's gonna be in terms of sex? I know that if I would sleep with another woman, could she sleep with another man? And that's what I don't want. I don't want to give her the feeling that she has to. And that's so strange because I've never had that before, where I thought, I only want to give this to one woman. And I've really tried to keep her out of my content. What would I do if somebody else would be here now? I would probably just sit there like a very firm rock. And I would probably just push her away, I don't know. If there just would come random women into here, I'm not sure if that's really what I want. I mean, sure, lots of women are nice. But who have these women been with before me? You see what I mean? Most women I know, they take the pill or some kind of injection or some kind of spiral. So every man they are with can just dump their shit into them. They just cuddle with anyone. I've met women like this who just want to cuddle with every guy, and then they just kiss, and then they just let them be touched everywhere. I just don't like this anymore. I don't want to be with women who would be with anyone, because that's where I say, for me, that's self-love, because I don't want to, dive into millions of men. I want to dive into one woman. And that's a very good point where I say, that's, that's a challenge, man. Especially if you've been raised by idiots like I have, which is the truth. I've been raised by idiots who had no idea what it means like to continue living such a lifestyle, to just have sex with random women all the time. But they still acted like, it was better. They just had no idea what it means like to keep doing this past the age of 30. And still they feel like, they're the successful ones. Well, I'm still here. And I'm alive on my own. I do get this financial support, but all the emotional stuff I'm doing myself. Mostly. And that's all I can say then. Right? I'm still here. I'm still struggling. I have to figure out what to do. But if I go out and leave my energy somewhere else, I'm not feeding my own dream. I'm feeding other people's dreams that think, they want to play games or something. But if you don't want to play games on your own, so what? Okay, this just makes no sense anymore. I just want to get it off my chest that I know it makes no sense, and it's infuriating in the way that it makes no sense, and women make no sense, and if she ever shows up, I have no idea what I would do. I think I lost all hope. She's never going to show up. And whether or not that is true, because to me, in a way, I also don't care anymore. And that's the really sad part. I just don't care about what these stupid women do. Because they're stupid. And none of them ever tried to really be with me. They just wanted someone. Oh, wow, what an accomplishment. A guy with a beard. Right? They never saw me. They just saw what I could do for them. Oh, he can stuff me. What else did they think? Oh, yeah, he's a beard. Look at how's he gonna make me look. Well, I would have accepted a woman that's certainly a handful to the degree of, making me just completely angry, I would have accepted her simply because I thought, I liked her. But she didn't seem to like that. Maybe it was overwhelming. Oh, how could I deserve to be loved? Yeah, it's your problem, isn't it? It's like, you want to be a princess? Tough. You're being confined by a dragon. Not sure if I'm the dragon. If this is like the Bell story, because I'm keeping someone within. There's someone living on the inside here. I'm not saying, you've seen my apartment, there's no space to hide anyone. But, in myself, the heart space, where you meditate on, that's where I could say I'm keeping someone there. Because I'm just trying to hold on, and that's maybe where I'm going wrong. Maybe I shouldn't hold on to anyone. Maybe I should just let go. And then you have these songs from, I don't know, something with butterflies. You know who that guy is anymore. 2 butterflies, it's just too romantic. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Nobody can take this stuff serious, just sitting here and then suddenly there's like a call coming. Oh, I love you so much. Please, let us get back together. All right, let's do it, right? Nobody does that. Nobody does that. I've been waiting for years. I've been waiting for months and hours and eternities for such a call, for such a comeback. I've written probably hundreds of emails, in the hope that whatever I'm trying to express, please let it be love, right? Hard love is truth and all that kind of stuff. I just said what I felt, how I've been treated and all of that. And if she just deleted the emails, whatever, then what you say in the end is good riddance. Good riddance, I think that's from the Kratos, from Chris Webby. So I do what I can, I never give in to despair, because what I said once is, my dream is not dependent on a woman anymore. So I also use the image of women to just project myself forward. So she's not the only one, but certainly the most frequent one. I have these images that always come back to me. And while I see, breasts, nice shaped breasts from some women, there are other women where I feel like I see and then there are women where it's more like friendship, like a buddy, like, I just don't really get it. So the question is, with who would you have children? Is the woman you see, for yourself in your dream, is she going to be a blonde woman? Is she going to be brown haired? What are you really looking for? Unless I see you again, it's hard to say if it was you I was looking for, because I haven't seen you in a while. And now there seem to be 2 women working it out with each other, because that's what we always have to be open for, telepathy, but my perspective is I'm alone in my apartment and there's nobody else. But if I withdraw within, there's like hundreds and millions of people that I can connect with, talk with, have conversations with, even sleep with. And then the question is whether or not that is cheating, or whether it just helps me to move on and let go. But, am I supposed to be like that king in the movie, The Woman King, where you have, 7 wives, and, one's your favorite, but you can have children with all of them. Is that how it would turn into? Does it mean just because you're kind of man and wife, does it mean you have to have sex even in the physical world? Should you just have this, in a spiritual way? Because if you were trying to build a foundation with happy children, then if only one man fathers lots of children, how can he be a father to lots of children? And maybe we have to work with the ideas we have of fathers in the first place. Because I don't think it used to be like this, But it is the way now. We don't have a tribe anymore. We have single, secluded families that occasionally get together with the rest of the family. We do not live in a tribe anymore. Which is why this, without all the booze maybe, but then in connection with children and women, could be something I think that would never work for me. As much as I would like it, I just don't think it would work for me. And that's what I don't understand. I just don't know who I'm supposed to be or what I'm supposed to do. And because these choices are too hard for me, I just decide to be here and do me. And then I say whatever woman would want to be a part of this, she can just come. And, that's it. Because it's too complicated. I cannot deal with who loves who and all that kind of crap. Because it's all nonsensical bull crap. Who loves who? Who cares? I just like what I do. And at the moment, that's all I have to do, apparently. And the circumstances clearly say, yes, do this. And then you say, but why? Why am I supposed to do this? Should I not do something else? Who are the elves? Well, I have found some. I really don't know. I'm just gonna wait. I sometimes feel like I'm the victim here. Because people are trying, I don't know. I just feel like I'm being played with, I'm being toyed with. By women, by men. Everybody's kind of laughing at me. And I'm not sure why. Maybe it's so obvious. Well, I'm just gonna let it be.